And welcome everybody. Welcome to the Oracle of the Light channel. Lovely to see you all today. Great to be here again and looking forward to see what the Tarot and Oracle cards will say. Of course, I'm going to be using the Cosmic Tarot cards today and also the Oracle of the Light cards that are produced by myself and my beautiful husband, Francesco. Yeah, really lovely to see you all, everyone, today. And as I say, going to be interesting to see what the cards say. As usual, I have to say you'll see the I've forgotten its name. I've forgotten what it's called. The all readings for entertainment purposes only. The disclaimer. That's right. You'll see the disclaimer going across the bottom of the screen. But all readings are for entertainment purposes only. And all views are myself, my own views, and yeah, it's just really important just to recognise that. But more importantly is to recognise all of you guys watching the show. So welcome everybody. I hope you're going to be enjoying these videos that I'm going to be posting. It's just a different angle. I do one-to-one readings and connect to spirit and everything like this, but this is just a different angle of my work to sort of look into events going on in the world and see whether we can get a bit more insight into them. So it just gives us a different focus than my many one-to-one readings and platform work that I do. It just opens it up a little bit more, and it gives us a bit of higher insight, if you like. I say higher insight, but I suppose you could say spiritual insight as to what these different things are going on, you know. So this is the purpose of this channel, to sort of open up these different things going on, because the world is certainly quite an active place energetically at the moment. There's a lot of changes going on. There's a lot of craziness going on. There's a lot of very bad things going on. There's a lot of things going on all around the world. I think it's just this can be used as a way of just opening it up a little bit more and seeing what's going on a little bit. So yeah. Don't forget, if you do have any questions that you think might be good for me to use my tarot and oracle cards with, don't forget to make a comment. And don't forget, I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really does. I really do appreciate it. And also to put a thumbs up as well. So don't forget to put a thumbs up after you've enjoyed the video or even before you're enjoying it. So I do appreciate that too. So we're going to make a start. So the very first question we're going to look at then is, obviously I'm not going to say everyone's names, particularly because I don't want to give them the energy, and I don't want to give them that energy, if you like. So it's a way of discussing it and looking at it without handing them over the energy, if you like. So that's why you might notice certain things have changed. But so let's ask the tarot cards what the American people feel towards F-45 not attending the dignified transfer of the 4 US soldiers that tragically died during their training exercise in Lithuania. Okay, now, so obviously I was actually going to do this question second, but obviously I'm supposed to do it first. Now, obviously, we need to send our condolences over to the families of all those who tragically died during that training exercise. And it's really important for us to send our condolences and love, and at this really difficult time, okay? And as we've seen that during it, I've looked into certain things here as well. There was 4 troops in America that tragically passed away in a training exercise, and rightly so. The Lithuanian president attended the dignified transfer, and it's often very traditional for the presidents to attend those dignified transfer by way of decency and respect. I think is the main priority for that. But obviously, the news has shown that Trump decided to go and play golf instead. And so really what I wanted to ask was, what do the American people feel towards F-45? Of course, F-45 is the American dump, if you like, in the White House at the moment. And what do they feel towards him having missed this dignified transfer that he really missed in a very, it was just, I'm not going to say much on it, but I want to say, let's see what the cards say. Let's see what the cards say. I could say much on it, but I'm going to hold a bit of that back, I think. But it's really important to recognise that the Lithuanian president was present during that, and I think that shows huge respect, and it was lovely to see that respect shown from Lithuania. It's a shame it couldn't maybe be echoed from America, but let's see what the cards say regarding this. So you see the question underneath here as well. So let's see what the cards say regarding that. So as I say, the cards I'm using are the Cosmic Tarot, and obviously we must always treat people's deaths and everything with great respect, and please don't see the fact I'm doing readings of that as disrespectful. I'm more doing the readings on the feelings towards F-45, felon 45, towards him. Really not, I'm not doing it really connected to the soldiers themselves, if that makes sense. So this reading is more about the feeling towards F-45, if anything, than the soldiers themselves, because there's utmost respect for the soldiers, of course, you know. So what are the feeling towards felon 45, F-45? Well, this one's fallen out. I'm actually going to get I think I'm going to get 4 cards out for this. I'll just show you that one fell out there, and that is the 9 of Swords. So you can see I've got my table here. I'm just shuffling the cards. So I'm going to get 4 cards out to give us the cards at this side of the table are going to be more the feelings at the moment, and then these ones are going to be how it might develop the feelings, if that makes sense, towards F-45. These are the feelings from the American people towards F-45. So let's get the other cards out. So just so you can see how I'm drawing the cards, I've just got the camera so you can see. So the next card are the 5 of Cups, also upside down, this one. And then we'll get this card as well. Prince of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands upside down. So it's interesting, these two are the same way up, and these two are the same way up. These two are the right way up, and these are upside down, interestingly. So you can see those cards there. So yeah, so we're going to go through these cards just so you can see them. I'm going to actually lift them to the camera there, but these are the first 2 we're going to look at, and these are the second 2 we're going to look at. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'll put up the question again. What do the American people feel towards F-45 for not attending that dignified transfer? So this is our first card, and that to me is not very happy at all. I'm feeling from that card. I think funnily enough, we've had this card for the felon before, actually, and you can see that that he's crouched down. There's daggers being flown at him. So I think there's a lot of criticism already, and I know there is a lot of criticism coming all his way, and I think it's going to increase, actually, because I'm really drawn to the top bit of the card. There's more swords coming his way, and I feel that what that really represents is a sense of there's going to be more criticism coming along his way. He's going to find it more difficult, that criticism. He's going to find it harder to dodge as well, I feel, you know. I feel that it really get a sense of him not being able to dodge out the way of it, you know. And yeah, just a lot of not just regular criticism, too, really quite cutting criticism, I need to say, and that relates to the swords as well. Very cutting criticism that goes straight to the point with him, you know. And I think that is going to weaken his kingdom, if you like, his domain, because I can see the building crumbling there. And I think that almost represents like the White House in the sense of that it's going to be crumbling his little empire in that sense, you know. Is almost, I want to say, like an empire of make-believe, because it's not based on a lot of truths, you know. There's that empire of like fantasy almost, you know. So yeah, that's the first one. The second card for the most recent feelings is this one, upside down, the 5 of Cups. So the Cups is to do with love, but obviously if it's upside down, it means the reverse of love. So there's a lot of almost like hate, you could almost say, being given towards him for this, you know. I think a lot of people feel, I feel it's not necessarily hate, I feel it's that sense of being let down, that sense of how he's by not attending it, he's almost like made America disrespect those soldiers, you know, showing a disrespect, showing no love to them, you know. And that's what this card being upside down is, you know. That's showing that disrespect, you know. I feel as well the fact 5 is important here. I think the reason 5 is important, 4 of those cups I feel is to do with the soldiers, and the 5th is to do with the families of those soldiers. I feel that's what the cups represent in this card, okay? The reason why there's 5 of them, you know, is I think significant. I feel that yeah, I think this is to do with people's emotions around. You know, what we're saying, how do people feel towards felon, towards the felon? I feel that's why this is to do with not feeling a lot of love at all. You know, feeling very let down, betrayed. There's all these sort of emotions going on, I feel, you know. It's quite a dark card, and I can understand why it would bring out some very raw emotions in people, you know. Yeah. So the next card is the Prince of Wands. Okay, now I feel this represents Trump in the sense of this. I think this is him being just like kind of cold and frigid. Interestingly, you see the Prince of Pentacles is holding his pentacles. Pentacles represents the money, and you can see that it's money close to his chest. And I think that this is what is represented by Trump. He can only almost see as far as the money. He's almost like incapable of perceiving people's emotions. Interestingly, when I say the word emotions, interestingly, the president of Lithuania said that for us, he said, quote, "For us, it is more than a duty, it is an emotion," interestingly. And now this card, I was already saying like a lack of emotions. It feels like Trump is almost like incapable of feeling these emotions. He can only see as far as the money. That's where his heart is. Do you see where that pentacle is there? That is on his heart. And really that tells you everything. He cares more about money than he does people. He cares more about his own money than he does other people's money. And as long as he's okay, that's fine. And I think really that tells you a lot about it anyway, because of his actions, you know, how anyone lives with themselves and sleeps at night, you know. I don't know, I wouldn't be able to, but you know, I feel that that's what this is all about, keeping his, yeah.
Can I just add one thing? There's a flag in the car at the back.
Yeah, there is a flag at the back, yeah.
Do you think that's the actual American?
I think, yes, I mean, that could be the American flag, almost like turning his back on the American flag, because the flag's behind him. And in not attending that dignified transfer, he really turned his back on the American people, because he turned his back on those soldiers that gave their life to saving the country. He turned his back on them. He went and played golf, you know. And I think that the fact that that flag is behind him is representative of that, you know. I feel, interestingly, I feel that that the animal on the opposite cliff almost, I feel, represents Lithuania. And that's not disrespectful. It's the sense of that feels like a really strong animal on that cliff. And it feels like that animal is looking at the flag. And I feel that almost is representative, perhaps, of the president of Lithuania being strong and being open about the fact he was there, and saying that quote, "For us, it is more than a duty, it is an emotion." I think being open about that is a strength, and I think that's what this animal is. You know, I think that because that's a strong animal, you wouldn't want those horns to get you. You know, that is clearly a strong animal, but also showing respect to the flag. Interestingly, also the fact that the animal is on a cliff suggests that animal is in a different country as well. Suggests, you know, that connection to who it might be as well, you know.
Also, it's on a higher plane.
Yeah.
So I mean, probably gone up.
Yeah, that's right. He's higher up as well than the prince, and that may well suggest the fact that he can see things in a more grown-up way, which he clearly does, you know. So yeah, quite an interesting card, that. A very interesting card, you know. But a very cold person, this person is. Very cold. And you can see from his face, he's a very cold man, this man in the card, you know. He cares more about himself than others. He's not, the fact he's got his arms closed, it's not an open gesture, it's a closed gesture. And that to me is all very, and also the fact he's wearing his little thing suggests that he likes to make himself just a little bit like, you know, he's a whole load of bunkum, if you ask me. Money don't mean anything. Money is not where happiness lies, you know. You know, having respect for others and those around us is really important. And showing respect for people that have given their lives is even more important, I would say. So the last card, the 6 of Wands, upside down, interestingly. So I feel that this is almost like, so when you see it the right way up, to be able to see what it is a bit more, this is a person with all different things laid out in front of them. And I feel what this is almost, so you could see those as like options laid out in front, but the fact that this card was upside down is almost like the person can't see them. So this is like Trump has many options about the choices he can make, but you're no doubt that Trump Felon doesn't have to make these choices that he's making. If you're getting the feeling that he does have to make these choices that he's making, then you're wrong. Everyone always has a freedom to say these things and to make those choices, you know. But you just can't see that. He'll just take the one he wants for him, and that's it, you know. He won't do the. You see, he's interestingly, he's not looking at the lion. He's not looking at the sun. He's not looking at the bright things. He's not looking at the courageous things. He's looking away from that and doing the childish thing. He's doing he's doing those childish actions, you know, only thinking about himself, you know. And I think that's what that card represents. So.
You think it represents him playing golf as well?
Yeah, it could also represent the golf sticks. I never thought about that. Yeah, but on a very basic, on a kind of like basic kind of level. Yeah, it could also represent the fact that it's the wands. Could represent the sticks. Yeah. He's not doing the courageous thing though. The courageous lion is definitely far away from him. You know, he's clearly Felon. He's clearly not a courageous lion. You know. So again, I will show you. So that was where the cards are there, just so you can see again. So we're going to come on to our other reading now. So I do hope that was interesting. I've got another question. Don't forget, even when you are watching this later on, by all means make a comment, and don't forget to put that thumbs up too. so we're going to do another question now. So the next question is, let's ask the tarot cards what MAGA's relationship with Felon 45 is like 2 months into his presidency. So what is MAGA's relationship like with F45? So for this, I'm going to draw 5 cards, one in the center, and then one behind, one underneath, one in front, and one above. And it gives you sort of like this one central one, and then it gives you the bit behind that point, the bit that underlines sort of is the foundation for it, the bit that's above it, the overall kind of arching thing as well, and then the one in front of it. So that's more onto that, like the future movement of it, if that makes sense, you know. So just shuffling the cards, you can see. I'm not an expert shuffler. I just shuffle them the best I can. Oh, nearly one going out. And I read them reversed and the right way up as well. I read them all different ways. Shift them all around and move them all around. And I do like this deck of oracle cards. They are very nice cards to read. The Cosmic Tarot cards, they're called. Okay, so don't forget to give this a like, a thumbs up at the bottom, and a subscribe too. The more subscribers, the better. As I say, we've only just started doing this, but we will build up lots of different videos. We've got a plan for a next video already, which is exciting. Okay, so I'm going to draw 5 cards. So the first card, and that was upside down. Upside down. All right, wow, interesting. Okay, so you can see them there. So this is the central one, then we've got the one behind, underneath, above, and there. Okay. Okay, so asking the tarot cards then, what MAGA's relationship with Felon 45 is like 2 months into his presidency. What is the relationship between MAGA and Felon? So the first of all, the Prince of Swords. So this is all to do with hurt. Again, the swords is all to do with hurt. So there's, first of all, I think for this is actually, interestingly, I think this is all to do with like a sense of betrayal, a sense of hurt. But interestingly, it's almost like everything that was said though is happening in that sense, you know. So I mean, being no doubt that everything that he said, he is going through, and even to the point of this book here, and I think that is Project 2025, even though he, at the time, I remember he was distancing himself. They are enacting pretty much everything in that now. So whether they say they're doing it or not, they are certainly following along the lines of that. And that book almost looks a similar colour to the book as well. So to me, you can see that this person here keeps this book very close to them, but equally keeps hurt very close to them. So I think he's there's a sense of he's doing exactly what he said, and he really doesn't care about the hurt that he's creating either. So I think there's a lot of hurt people. I think a lot of the MAGA are feeling hurt and betrayed because almost like they didn't think it would come to hurt them, and it is. And I think that's what the surprising thing is. It's almost like hurting more people than they're expecting. I think they're expecting it to only hurt a certain band of people and group of people, and it's gone far beyond that to taking everyone's money away and everything like this, you know. And I think this is really what this is about. That just, and this band's so focused, such focused hurt almost, you know, it's quite crazy. And really that level of really not caring, you know. I'm just going to hang on to this 2025, you know, Project 2025. I'm going to hurt everyone around me, and I don't even care. I think that's what this is about. And so it's brought up a lot of emotions. It's brought a lot of going on onto this. So this is the 5 of wands we've got here. And now this, interestingly, is upside down. So the 5 of wands, the right way up, is 2 men fighting. And it almost feels like, that this is one in the past of the reading. So it feels like that there was almost like this battle to get into the White House, but almost it feels like they've lost that battle, because ironically, now he's in the White House, they really are losing, both, you know, financially and in the pocket. So it's quite interesting. It feels like this is like they might have won that battle to get him in the White House, but actually they're now losing the real battle, which was a sense of keeping themselves safe and keeping a roof above their head. And I feel that that's why that one is upside down. It's a very harsh card. You can see there's a lot of stones on the floor. There's a lot of a rough surface there, you know. And for it to be upside down only makes that more severe, really. And I think that that's the point of, like, it was a battle to get him there, which is why it's a battle between two, but now he's there, almost they've lost the real battle there, you know. I think that's what that one has to do with. The foundation of the card, the 2 of wands, you know. I think the reason why, because there's a lot of wands in this reading, and I think the reason why there's so many wands, I think it represents his golfing and stuff, going back to that previous reading. But I think that there's got to be a reason for so many wands in this reading. I think it's to do with that. The 2 of wands also, I feel, it suggests the fact that almost like the 2 of wands is a very proud card, and I almost think this is to do with, like, at the foundation of it all, actually, Felon, he's actually proud of it, believe it or not. You wouldn't think that anyone could be so proud of crashing the economy more than it's ever been crashed, and so many things being done that have never been done ever in a presidency. But I think he's almost proud of it in a very, very weird way. I wouldn't be proud of it. But I think the reason why also is significant, I think that it's him, because look at the ground that he stood on. This tells us everything. He's not stood on a ground that is a nurturing, fertile ground. He stood on a ground that's really, like, squeezed out of all of its nutrients and everything. And that kind of says everything. He's squeezing everyone for everything he can get. And I think that he's standing proud. Look at me in my big house in Mar-a-Lago, and doesn't really care about anyone else at all, you know. And that's at the foundation of everything, unfortunately, you know. So don't forget, do make a comment if you're watching this video. So yeah, that is at the foundation of it, unfortunately. Above it is the Prince of Wands. Now I also see this as, I think this is significant, the fact that this is above his card. I almost want to say this is almost like his wife and everything. And I feel this is to do with the fact that it's upside down there. And I feel this is the sense of, because there was very little support on the campaign, and you don't see her ever out and everything. So there's this strange lack of support, come lack of connectivity between him and his family and everything going on. I think this is what it's to do with, you know. And I also feel the fact that this is upside down is I feel it's to do with dysfunctional. There's a huge dysfunctional aspect to the family and the relationship there going on, you know. There's a huge dysfunction, you know. I think it wouldn't, I suspect whether it would maybe operate like a normal relationship, whatever normal is. But yeah, I feel there's something going on there, you know, that is not functioning right. And then the Ten of Pentacles. Now, we've had this card for him but before, believe it or not, as well. And the Ten of Pentacles, this is, to me, I feel this is a sense of a losing power card there. Now, normally they're this way up so you can see it. The Ten of Pentacles, Pentacles all to do with money, but obviously if it's the right way up, this is someone stepping into money, money growing around them. But reversed, you can reverse that around a little bit. So I feel as it's reversed, I always want to say it feels like that money leaving them, that power leaving them. You know, I feel this is definitely a card. And this is this was at the future point. You can see just the future point here. So I feel it's really to do with, as we go into the future with him, that there's going to be a lack of power there. That there's going to become a lack of money and finances there. That there's going to be a lack of that control that he's used to a beat of having, you know. Exactly for what time period, I don't know on these types of things, but I definitely feel that this is for the future, that the control that he maybe previously used to have is maybe not going to be as strong as we go into the future, you know, with also coupled with a lack of finance and money, okay, interestingly. So, yeah, a very interesting reading, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I hope you found those interesting, those readings. As I say, for entertainment purposes only, but I do hope you found them interesting. And don't forget, if you do have a question or anything, by all means, you can make a comment. And don't forget to put a thumbs up and subscribe too. I am also going to draw a couple of cards out for the day from the Oracle of the Light. So we'll have a couple of cards for the day, 2 from the Oracle of the Light, with a few thoughts that hopefully will that will resonate with you. So we'll just do a couple of cards from this now as well. But do comment and let me know what you think of these videos. I would appreciate it. We've got a few ones planned as well. We're going to be doing more. But yeah, it'd be lovely to see your thoughts. I do appreciate everyone watching. I do appreciate that. So a couple of cards for the day and with a few little thoughts about. So I hope that these will resonate with you too. So the first card for the day is Infinite Reach. So I feel this is all to do with, there's an interesting zodiac signs, obviously from there as well, but also I feel this is a connection card. Reach out to people and connect with them. So whatever you're doing at the moment, it feels like you must have to reach out and connect to them, okay? I feel a sense of the importance of touch as well. And I feel a sense of almost like maybe a hug is needed now and then. If you need that hug, just go get that hug. It feels like you might need one, okay? Just take care of yourself and reach out to people. It's a definite reach out card, okay? When we're struggling, we never need to struggle on our own, okay? Always don't be afraid to reach out and say, I'm finding it a bit difficult today. And I'm sure someone will be able to just have that coffee with you and see how you are. And between worlds too, I feel this reaching out card also could be to do with connecting to loved ones that have passed. That might be why you might be missing them at the moment. And the reason why I say that is between worlds is a card that is a go between the physical and the spirit. And I feel that this card is really about how you go between the worlds and know that you aren't going crazy for sensing them around you, because I think you must have been sensing your loved ones around you, be that seeing signs or even like seeing shadows or anything. It's nothing to worry about. It's nothing to be scared of. Just know that the loved ones who are around you most definitely connecting to you. I feel they are reaching out to you. Don't be afraid to reach out to them, okay? I will leave that with love and light. Don't forget the Oracle deck is available to purchase from us. If you just want to message us and get in touch, we can sort that out for you. But listen, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you once again for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. You take care, everybody, with lots of love and light from Oracle of the Light. See you later.